everyone, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today, obviously, I'm going to be talking about Manchester and my trip to Manchester. Now, I'm going to be throwing up pictures as I talk, so hopefully it all makes sense. But I had a wonderful time. Loved Manchester. I loved everything I did, every place I went to. Absolutely stunning city centre. Now, I know I'm talking about it with tourist glasses, for the same reason I adore Liverpool. And I think it's crazy that that area of the UK, the northwest, you've got Liverpool, Manchester, Bolton, Blackpool, all that area up there, that's the cradle of music. Almost all but one band that I love come from that area. So you've got the Beatles in Liverpool, obviously, and then you've got Oasis, New Order, Joy Division, the Smiths, the Stone Roses, the Hollies, and Spiral Car. So many from Manchester. And the only standout band is Pink Floyd that come from London or Cambridge. I think it's Cambridge. Otherwise, all my favourite bands are from that area of the UK, which is just amazing. So anyway, the train going there was fine. That's just the train. But coming back, it was delayed for an hour. And it was like, it was a really cheap, obviously I didn't pay for first class. I'm not that rich, but it was like an airplane seat. And it was awful. And it was so hot. And anyway, trains annoying me. But got to Manchester and then there were trams. I had no idea that Manchester has trams, which was the coolest thing ever. And I'm not really a train person, but they were so great to get around. I took the tram to the Trafford Centre, which we'll talk about in a bit, and I took the trams, to get to everywhere I want to go. You tap this card reader as you get on, and then you have to tap it again, whichever stop you get off, which is a brilliant idea. The hotel was nice. I filmed in the hotel, but then, so the first day I just did a bit of shopping, and that's when I picked up. I had to buy records. And they had to be obviously Manchester bands. So we have New Order's Ceremony. Beautiful, amazing song, which I think was their first single after the breakup of Joy Division, where both Ceremony and A Lonely Place were written by Ian Curtis, which is great. Now, I'll show you that one in a bit, but we have The Smiths, one of my favourite bands from Manchester, with Sheila Take the Bow, with the B-sides Is It Really So Strange and Sweet and Tender Hooligan. Now, one of the places I went to was Sifter's record shop, which it's here, somewhere up ahead. There, Sifter's record shop, I made it. Fortunately, it's closed. I came all this way and it's closed, but amazing. Great to be here. I love Shaker Maker, which was where Noel and Liam Gallagher, my idols, would go to buy records, and it's referenced in the song Shaker Maker. Now, Google Maps told me it was open, so I got on the tram, good half an hour on the tram there, and it was closed. So I don't know what happened there. I think Google Maps was lying to me, or they hadn't updated it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Still, to be there was really cool. And so I didn't buy this in Sifters, but I came back on the tram to the city centre, went in some of the small record shops looking for Oasis stuff, and then I found this bad boy, Oasis Up in the Sky, Sahara Stage, I can't pronounce that, Hutsfred Festival, Hutsfred, Kalmar County, Sweden. Oh, it's Swedish, that's why. Now, unfortunately, this is a bootleg, and I do not condone, obviously, illegal recordings of bootlegs and all this. I didn't know it was a bootleg when I bought it. I should have, but, I was in Manchester and I really wanted to find something Oasis. But it doesn't matter. It's just, it's only a live album that comes on a nice orange vinyl. Everywhere I went, they didn't have any Oasis stuff besides Vinyl Exchange, which is in Manchester City Centre, had an original Definitely Maybe first pressing. It was £300. And it was porn. It was beautiful. But obviously I can't afford £300 for one record. Now, on the second day, So I'm not a football person. It's never really interested me. Besides when England play, but they never win. Um, but because when you go to these places, you got to visit the football stadiums because they're cool. I went to the when I was in Liverpool, I went to Anfield. That's what it's called, and then the Everton one, and the park in the middle was stunning. So I thought I had to go to the Manchester football stadiums. So the first one, got on the tram. First one was Manchester United, no, Man City, sorry, and that was huge. It was beautiful, and I got my hat. Where's my hat? Uh, I have a nice blue hat. It's over there. I'm not going to get it, but that was amazing. Great to be there. And then I got on the tram from there and went to the Trafford Centre, which I didn't actually buy anything in the Trafford Centre, because it's all posh, poncy clothes shops like Ted Baker and Ralph Lauren, and there wasn't a Gucci shop, but that sort of name brand clothing lines, which I'm not interested. I mean, I buy band t-shirts, but otherwise, I mean, I'm wearing Tesco or Walmart if you're American, shorts, and Sports Direct. If you're British, you know what Sports Direct is. That's where I get my clothes. But it was still absolutely stunning inside. Just blew me away. Like they really put effort in to make that look nice. Because the equivalent, the one in Bristol, like the big mall, is not as fancy and is actually kind of crap. But it was great to be there. So this was a mall that was outside of town. Then inside of the city centre, they had a place called the Arndale, which that was all right. Again, it was full of clothes shops that aren't really my thing. I'm going to sorry everyone, some technical difficulties. The Arndale was an amazing. It was beautiful inside, but it wouldn't. Again, it was a bunch of fancy clothes shops, which I'm not interested in. Although there was a Sports Direct. But anyway, point is, there was a Taco Bell in there. They have Taco Bell. It blew my mind. And weirdly enough, Taco Bell's crunchy beef tacos are gluten free, not a sponsor, and I could eat them. So I had tons of Taco Bell because I always get Taco Bell when I go to America. It's my favorite. And Dunkin' Donuts. They had Dunkin' Donuts as well. That was amazing. But anyway, so then from there, I got back on the trams and used the red line to get to the Manchester United Stadium, which, again, remember, I'm not a football person. I don't prefer either or. But that was even bigger. That was huge. I couldn't believe it. Absolutely massive of a football stadium. And then I bought my dad. So my dad loves football. In fact, I'm the only one in his family that isn't interested in football. Everyone else loves it. But they don't support Manchester United. I think they support Liverpool. I'm not sure. So I bought my dad a Manchester United mug because I knew it would really annoy him, which is just perfect. So that was it for the Saturday, because I then just went back and I had lunch in a Hard Rock cafe. Which is not like, I wanted to try some local grub, but I'd never been in a Hard Rock cafe before. And they had all these Manchester bands, as well as some Nirvana stuff. It was absolutely stunning. The food was lovely, but I could have spent hours looking through all that stuff. And then, the Sunday I did a bunch of the museums, and they weren't really that interesting. And then there was the War Museum, which was great, but again, it just didn't really pique my interest that much. But then there was the Science and Industry Museum had an exhibition on factory records. Oh, it was amazing. So if you didn't know, factory records were based in Manchester, and they signed bands like Joy Division. Joy Division is probably their most famous band, and then obviously New Order after Joy Division. And the whole exhibition just sort of went over the founding of Factory Records and then how they found Joy Division and Joy Division's first two albums, or only two albums. And then it talked about New Order, and it was so interesting and so cool to walk through these places and just, because I love Joy Division. I love New Order too. I'm slowly getting into all their stuff, but Joy Division released an EP, which is great, and then two albums, which are two of the best albums ever made. Easily both tens, easily tens, and such a fantastic band. Now, after seeing all that, I had two stops left. I had to go to the Hacienda, which was a huge nightclub during the Manchester years. So, if you didn't know, which you probably don't, Manchester is a period of time in Manchester when Manchester bands were all the raise, whatever the word is. So I think it's from like the early 80s to the early 90s. You had bands like Simply Red, Stone Roses, loads of Manchester, there's too many to name, Manchester bands coming up. And they would play in the Hacienda, which was amazing. And I wish it was still there. But unfortunately, it's a block of flats which are rather controversially called the Hacienda Apartments. It's such a shame that it's just a plaque now. And you'll see that James' first gig there, which is really cool. James are an amazing band. And then the only other one was the Broadwalk, which if you've watched the Oasis Supersonic documentary, you'll know that that's where Oasis got their start. That's where they started rehearsing as a band, which was so cool. And unfortunately, that was also now just a block of flats with a plaque on the front. It's so sad that these places are gone, but to be there is just such a surreal experience. And I absolutely loved it. You know, if you're from Manchester watching this, you live in an amazing city. That was one of my best trips. Now, my next trip is to York. I've settled on York, which is, if you don't know, York was settled by the Vikings during the Danelaw era of Middle England. And then it's a walled city, basically. It's really historic and old. And it looks absolutely beautiful. I've never been, but that's coming up. That's probably early next year now. But yeah, Manchester, amazing. Absolutely loved it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone.